The blessing of the Sabbath. Barak Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushai. Asherah. Nathanawa. Hashabat. Ba'shalawam. The water. Amen. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, that gives us the Sabbath in peace. Thank you. So be it. Psalm 121. Ta'ilam Mahar Ashariam Akkad. Anya Harayam Ayimya Al Ahariam Mahayan Yaboah Isaiah Yaboah Mayahawa Shasha Shamayam Waratiza La'a Yonathan Lamawat Ragalia Yala'a Yunawum Shashamarka Hana La'a Yunawum Wala'a Yayashan, Shashramar, Yasharala, Yahawa, Shamaria, Yahawa, Tazalia, Ail, Yad, Yamyanya, Yawamam, Ashamash, La'a, Hakaya, Wayarak, La'a, Balaya, La, Yahawa, Yashamoria, Makal, Rai, Yashamor, Napashia, Yahawa, Yashmor, Hawalakia, Wabaya, Maitha, Wa'id, Iwalam, Basham, Yahawasha, Tuwada, Aman. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence coming from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall not slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Amen. Here Israel, Shema Yasharala. Shammai Yasharala, Yahweh, Alahainawa, Yahweh, Akkad. Shammai Yasharala, Yahweh, Alahainawa, Yahweh, Akkad. Shammai, Yasharala, Yahweh, Alahainawa, Yahweh, Akkad. That's Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Amen. The Lord's Prayer, Yahweh Thapalah. Abiyanawa, Shabashamayim, Kodash, Haya, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwatka, Taba'a, Ratizawanka, Haya, Aisha, Baratiza, Ka, Bashamayim, Natalanawa, Lakam, Yawom, Za, Wasalakanawa, Ka Wabwatinawa, Kasalaknawa, Ka Wabwatinawa, Wala'a, Abiyanawa, Al Nasaya one, Abal, Hawashinawa, Marai, Kaya, Laka, Amalako, Wa'ala, Patapa Arat, Luwaiwalam, Aman. Matthew 6 and 9. After this manner, therefore, pray, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debtors, we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. Ha'ashara Matazawat, the Ten Commandments. La'a, Yahaya, Laka, Alahayam, Akariam, Apanya, La'a, Taisha, Laka, Pasal, Wala'a, Gaibadam, La'a, Talakartat, Shamwa, Yahawa, Alahayaka, Lashiwa, Zakar, At, Hayawam, Hashabat, Lakwadashwa, Kabad, Abiaka, wa Amaka, La'a, Taratisak, La'a, Tana'a, no his married, no servant, no his ox, no his ass, no any. Shalom. Today we're reading Deuteronomy chapter 19 and 20. My name is Priest Kahan Yawakanan, and I'll be presiding over the Sabbath service. It's like how we read earlier, Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. The Most High is calling Israelites, Black, Hispanics, and Native America, who Father is the same, that we are God's chosen people. The Most High is calling us back to this law, statute, and commandment. And He will have mercy upon you. So we're gonna just get right to it. It said Deuteronomy 19, verse 1. It says, when the Lord thy God, whose land the Lord thy God giveth thee, and thou succeedest them, and dwellest in their cities and in their houses. So the land of Israel, or called the land of Canaan. So you could look that first verse. With Deuteronomy 9 and 5. So Deuteronomy 9 and 5, it says, not for thy righteousness or for the uprightness of thine heart dost thou go to possess their land, but for the wickedness of these nations, the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee, and that he may perform the word which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So the Most High promised us this land. Verse 2. Verse 2. Thou shalt separate 3 cities for thee in the midst of thy land, which the Lord thy God giveth thee to possess it. So 3 cities of refuge. Nowadays, if someone might, commit certain crime and things like that, they would flee the country. But we have here 3 cities within Israel that we might flee to. So the person has a time to go and flee to these cities very quickly, instead of like now they jump on the plane or they drive and they just go to another country. But even if the country here, they can extradite them and bring them back to to the land where they commit the crime. It depends on the country. The country is able to extradite them and bring them back to the country where they commit the crime, or just keep them there. So, verse 2. So verse 2 is Exodus 21:13. It says, Exodus 21:13. It says, and if a man lie not in wait, but God deliver him into his hand, then I will appoint thee a place whither he shall flee. So it says, a man lie not in wait. So it's not like premeditation, murder, but accidental murder. So you have to prove it in the court. Verse 3, thou shalt prepare thee a way and divide the coast of thy land, which the Lord thy God giveth thee to inherit, into 3 parts, that every slayer may flee thither. So if it's premeditated murder or if it's accidental murder, the slayer, so he can flee to these 3 cities before the person, before the family of the person want to avenge him. So he can flee there. So you can see that if it's premeditated murder, then he shall be put to death, murderer. But if it's an accidental murder, he's not going to be put to death. It was an accident. Verse 4, and this is the case of the slayer, which shall flee thither, that he may live. That he may live, so you can't just go into these cities where they flee, because it's a city of refuge, and kill them. Whoso killeth his neighbor ignorantly, it's not premeditated accidental murder, ignorantly, whom he hated not in time past. So this is, ignorantly. These things, it happens all the time. And also premeditated murder, it happens too. He's a murderer. So verse 4 is Revelation 22. Revelation 22 and 15. It says, "For without are dogs and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie." So, First Peter's 4 and 15. So verse 4, it says, First Peter's 4 and 15, it says, "But let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's matter." So you don't be like suffering as a murderer. People who murder people, that remorse, if they have a remorse, they continue, continue feeling that for the rest of their lives. Verse 5, it says, "As when a man goeth into the wood with his neighbor to hew wood, and his hand fetcheth a stroke with the axe to cut down the tree, and the head slippeth from the helve, and lighteth upon his neighbor, that he die, he shall flee unto one of those cities and live." So it's like, you hewing, having an axe. A lot of time, you have the axe, you have the wood, like the handle into the axe head, and then a lot of time you put nails in the top of the axe head and try to secure it as much as you can. Or something, you may have an axe handle that is metal, and you would swing it, and if it falls off, you try to make sure that's secure. If it falls off and hits somebody and kills somebody, then you got to flee in one of these cities. So people don't take revenge upon you and kill you immediately for it. So you have to flee to these cities of refuge. But these things happen. You try to make sure that the axe head is secure properly. Verse 6, "Lest the avenger," people gonna avenge, for the person that was, that was killed. So it might be one person, it might be a mob of people coming for that person, right? "Lest the avenger of the blood pursue the slayer before he entered the city of refuge, while his heart is hot. So, you know, and overtake him because the way is long. So it might be quite of a distance for him to get to that city of refuge. And the person or persons or a mob or whatever coming after that person and slay him, whereas he was not worthy of death, because if it's accidental murder, he's not worthy of death. Inasmuch as he hated him not in time past. So it's not like, say, it was like premeditated and this thing happened. And then it's like he remembered that he had that hatred from it in the time past, say, oh, now I can get him. So let's read verse 6, Numbers 35 and 12. And they shall be, start from 11 verse. Numbers 35:11. And ye shall appoint you cities to be cities of refuge for you, that the slayer may flee thither, which killeth any person at unawares, accidentally. And they shall be unto you cities for refuge from the avenger, that the manslayer die not, until he stand before the congregation in judgment. So that's Numbers 35:11 and 12. So, verse 7, Deuteronomy 19, verse 7. Wherefore I command thee, saying, thou shalt separate 3 cities for thee. So, every man should know where these cities of refuge are, so that if anything happened, they can know that he got to flee there. So the people, they can't go in there and pull him out and slay him. You got to stand judgment to see if it was accidental murder or premeditated murder. Verse 8, and if the Lord thy God enlarge thy coast as he had sworn unto thy fathers, and give thee all the land which he promised to give unto thy fathers. So, an expansion here. Verse 9. If thou shalt keep all these commandments to do them, which I command thee this day, to love the Lord thy God, and to walk ever in his ways, then shalt thou add 3 cities more for thee besides these 3. So instead of the 3, he's going to add 3 more. Verse 9. So verse 9, you're going to have verse 9, you have Joshua 20, seven to 9. Let's go from verse 4. Joshua 20, let's go to 4. And when he that doth flee unto one of those cities shall stand at the entering of the gate of the city, and shall declare his cause in the ears of the elders of that city. So you can have elders at the city, and he's going to declare his cause. And it is accidental, premeditated. Then they're going to let him in. They shall take him into the city unto them, and give him a place that he may dwell among them. So it's not a place that he's just gonna just run in there like that. You're gonna have elders there. They're gonna give him a place. And if the avenger of blood pursue after him, then they shall not deliver the slayer up into his hand, because he smote his neighbor unwittingly, and hated him not before time. So he slayed him, accidentally, and it wasn't a premeditated murder. It's accidental, so they're not gonna just give him up like that. Verse 6, and he shall dwell in that city until he stand before the congregation for judgment. So it's going to be a court of law. He's going to stand before the congregation for judgment to see if it's accidental murder or premeditated murder. And until the death of the high priest that shall be in those days. So hoping that the high priest live a long life. Then shall the slayer return and come unto his own city and unto his own house, unto the city from whence he fled. So he would go back to the city where he came from. So that's Joshua. Hey, Shalom. I just read to verse 6. You can read further on. Verse 10. Deuteronomy 19, verse 10. Deuteronomy 19, verse 10. Yeah, Deuteronomy 19 and 20. Deuteronomy 19, verse 10. It says that innocent blood be not shed in thy land, which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance, and so blood be upon thee. So if the man is innocent and just a mob, whatever, that's going there and just drag the man out of the city of refuge before even judgment, then you're gonna kill an innocent man. And you don't want to, just pull a man and kill him if it's accidental murder. And for verse 10. No, skip. Verse 11. But if any man hate his neighbor and lie in wait for him, so if he hate his brother, right, and lie in wait, so this is premeditated. He lie in wait for him and rise up against him and smite him mortally, that he die and flee into one of these cities. So he's gonna premeditate it and plan this man murder, and then he's gonna flee in the city of refuge, and may just tell some story or whatever, and they let him in. So, and they may say, to see that before he stand judgment, right? Verse 12. Then the elders of his city shall send and fetch him thence, and deliver him into the hand of the avenger of blood, that he may die. So even somebody know that he's, premeditating to kill somebody, to murder somebody. So, the elder of his city shall just go and fetch him and go and get him. Yeah, that he planned this murder. Yeah, he's a murderer. So we can go and get him, however you bring him. He might not be against his will or whatever, but they're gonna go and get him, even if they carry him bodily. Verse 13, thine eye shall not pity him, but thou shalt put away the guilt of innocent blood from Israel, that it may go well with thee. So this person is the murderer. The person was, innocent, and the murderer just murdered him just like that. Verse 14, thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark, which they of old time have set in thine inheritance, which thou shalt inherit in the land that the Lord thy God giveth thee to possess it. So within the 12 tribes of Israel, we have our own land. You know, we have our own land and our borders and so on and so forth. So you don't want to go and take somebody else's land. You know, take somebody's land and take it over as if it's yours and it's not yours. Verse 14. So, verse 14, it says, Micah 2:2. Can you read it for me? Huh? Can you read it for me? Micah 2:2. Verse 14. So when Esau, the so-called whites, and they saw the land over here in the Western Hemisphere, and they see it, and this is what they do. You reading from your tablet or a Bible? Okay. Micah chapter 2, verse 2. Micah 2:2. You can find it in the Old Testament. You got it? Yeah, Micah 2:2. Hey, Shalom, man.
Shalom.
Micah 2:2. Okay, Micah 2:2. Then they covet.
Yeah, covet.
Oh, that's covet?
Yeah, covet.
Then they covet the field and take them by violence in the house and take them away, so they oppress a man in his house, even a man and his inheritance.
Yeah. So that covet, so they covet a field and they take it by violence instead of that's what they do when they take it over and just take it over like that.
Yeah.
You got your little Charlie with you?
No.
Come on.
So, covetousness.
I got my talent, Charlie. You know that?
Yeah, what you Charlie?
So, it's like what we read, earlier in Exodus 20:17. He said, "Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's." So verse 14. So you want to remove your neighbor's landmark and claim it that is yours. Verse 15. One witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity. All right, one man not gonna just rise up like that, or for any sin in any sin that he sinned at the mouth of 2 witnesses or at the mouth of 3 witnesses shall the matter be established.
Where you at, sir? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah. So Deuteronomy 19, verse 15.
Deuteronomy 19, that's the chapter we at.
Yeah, verse 15.
20, what's the date? 28 days?
29.
Right. Thank you. That's a good one, yeah. Now, look, you have to reach out a lot. Deuteronomy. What class is that? Reading that.
Where we at? 15?
Yeah, 15.
So when you read the history of Susanna, right? When you read about the history of Susanna, that these 2 men, covered this because they wanted to sleep with this man's wife. Yes. And then young.
I've been have they came for a minute now. Just haven't seen it.
What's my phone, man?
Lost it.
Yeah.
So history of Susanna, verse.
Say that again?
History of Susanna, verse.
Do I need a positive?
Yeah.
Hey, but you bring up the top, positive down here? Off the shelf right there?
When these 2 men wanted to sleep with this woman.
Positive. Right there.
I was going to read verse 45.
What you reading out of? Okay.
Yeah, read it for me, please.
So he got the book, he bring it.
Oh,
I
okay.
need my Bibles here. I just took this. I took this.
I told that phone or a tablet too.
Uh-huh.
I told that a phone or a tablet.
Yeah, go on in, but it's charging. I ran out.
Oh, okay. All right.
Go ahead. What are you reading out of?
Let me see. Let me start verse 43.
You don't see it?
All right.
Red book.
The history of Susanna. It said, "Thou knowest that they have borne false witness against me, and behold, I must die. Wherefore I never did such thing as these men have maliciously invented against me, and the Lord heard her voice. Therefore, when she was led to be put to death, the Lord raised up the Holy Spirit of a young youth whose name was Daniel, who cried with a loud voice, I am clear from the blood of this woman. Then all the people turned them toward him and said, what mean these words that thou hast spoken? So he standing in the midst of them said, are ye such fools, ye sons of Israel, that without examination or knowledge of the truth, ye have condemned a daughter of Israel? Return again to the place of judgment, for they have borne false witness against her. So they have So verse 49, return again to the place of judgment, for they have borne false witness against her. Verse 50, wherefore all the people turned again in haste, and the elders said unto him, come, sit down among us, and show it us, seeing God had given thee the honor of an elder. Then said Daniel unto them, put these two aside, one far from another, and I will examine them. So he's cross-examined them. He put them in separate place. So the story that they concocted together, like they're gonna say, he put them, separate and cross-examined them separately. So when they were put asunder, one from another far away, so they can talk to each other, he called one of them and said unto him, O thou that art waxing old in wickedness, now thy sins which thou hast committed aforetime are come to light. For thou hast pronounced false judgment, and hast condemned the innocent, and has let the guilty go free. Albeit the Lord said, the innocent and righteous shall thou not slay. So he asked him, now then, if thou hast seen her, tell me, under which tree sawest them companying together? Who answered, under a mastic tree. So he said, under a mastic tree. Verse 55, and Daniel said, very well, thou hast lied against thine own head, for even now the angel of God had received the sentence of God to cut thee in two. Verse 56, so he put him aside and commanded to bring the other, and said unto him, O thou seed of Canaan, and not of Judah, beauty had deceived thee, and lust had perverted thine heart. Thus have ye dealt with the daughter of Israel, and they for fear companied with you. But the daughter of Judah would not abide your wickedness by sleeping with them. Now therefore tell me, under what tree did thou take them companying together? Who answered, under a home tree. So one said under a mastic tree, another one says under a home tree. Verse 58. So they lied, try to condemn the daughter of Israel by two false witnesses. So even verse 15 in here, it says, one witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity. So it wasn't a one witness here or for any sin. So not one witness. These were two false witnesses against an Israelite sister, Susanna. Verse 16, it says, if a false witness rise up against any man to testify against him that which is wrong. So these are two false witnesses that was cross-examined by Daniel. Verse 17, then both the men between whom the controversy is shall stand before the Lord, before the priests and the judges, which shall be in those days. So they're going to come and stand before the Most High, before the priests and the judges, right? So here in Sister Susanna, they were cross-examined, and they wanted Susanna to be condemned because they lusted after her and wanted to have sex with her. Verse 18, and the judges shall make diligent inquisition. So young Daniel I made diligent inquisition to cross-examine them. And their stories didn't match up. So the judges got, examine the situation diligently. And behold, if the witness be a false witness and had testified falsely against his brother. So these two men had falsely testified against Susanna. Verse 19, then shall ye do unto them as he had thought to have done unto his brother, so shalt thou put the evil away from among you. So that's what happened to those men. They were put to death. They wanted, Susan because she didn't want to sleep with them, have sex with them, because she had a husband. And she didn't want to commit, this wickedness that they falsely testify against her when they were found out. Verse 20, and those, so verse 19, that what they had planned to do against her, they were put to death. So the Most High said, put them to death because they're false witness. Just like how we read in verse 19. In Exodus 20 and 16. Exodus 20 and 16, it says, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Verse 20, and those which remain shall hear and fear. So they're going to hear the judgment and they're going to fear that they don't become a false witness to your brother. You don't want to bear a false witness because you're going to be your own. You're going to be a liar and a false witness and shall henceforth. So you don't want to bear a false witness against your neighbor. They make you swear, but you're not supposed to swear. But sometimes they catch people say they lie on the oath. You could get a prison sentence for that. I know a person, this is years ago, they lied on the oath and they got like a year a year in prison for it. Verse 21. And thine eye shall not pity, but life shall go for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. So verse 21. So life for life is a murderer. He shall be put to death. Life for life. Eye for an eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. What every person have done should be done to him. So Matthew 5:38. So Matthew 5:38. He said, you have heard that it had been said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Verse 39, but I say unto you that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also. That, we're not gonna, we shouldn't be knocking each other's tooth and chopping each other hand and foot and hurt each other like that. At times we bear, each other wrong. And dragging each other in court for a lot of things. He said 1 Corinthians 6 and 1. 1 Corinthians 6 and 1. It says, dare any of you having a matter against another, go to law before the unjust and not before the saints? So to drag each other before the ungodly and not before the saints, which are Israelites.
So you looking good now?
All right.
For me.
Huh?
Thank you. Thank you, sis.
Girl, I hate to run through. His name is Jawa Kanan.
How you doing, man?
His name is Jawa Kanan. Yeah.
Shalom, sis. Have a blessed day.
That's the type of walk up there.
No, we're Israelites, sis. We're Israelites, so we don't say Islam stuff.
She's saying, look.
You're welcome.
Well,
You're welcome.
it's okay.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Come back now.
So, as for saints, it says, does any of you having a matter against another go to law before the unjust and not before the saints. So the saints, Psalms 50 and 5. You read that for me, Art? Okay, all right. It's in Psalms 50 and 5. It said, gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. So Israelites are the saints, and not what the world out there say, oh, saint this and saint that. So, oh, I didn't write it properly first. Corinthians 6, 1. First Corinthians 6 and 1. Let me read it again. Dare any of you having a matter against another go to law before the unjust and not before the saints? Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matter? Know ye not that we shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life? So we should be able to settle our matters. Like a lot of times you hear people, settle things out of court. They settle and they, instead of going before, before the ungodly, even some the other nation, they want to go before court and then they say, okay, we're gonna settle out of court and keep this matter private within us. So that was First Corinthians 6, verse 1 to 3. First Corinthians 6, verse 1 to 3. So that was to verse 21. That was from Deuteronomy 19, verse 21. So,
Okay. What was the precept?
yeah, 6, 1 to 3. So now it's 12:30. We're going to come back at 1 o'clock. Yeah, we're going to take a half an hour break and then come back at 1 o'clock, and then we do Deuteronomy chapter 20. All right? All right, Shalom Israel. Still the Sabbath, no cooking or buying and selling or heating up in the food.
All right, Shalom.
Come back at 1 o'clock.